Welcome, everyone, to this day of celebration. My name is Craig Kennedy. I'm the Dean of the College of Education. The College of Education was founded in 1908 to bring teacher education to the state of Georgia. Since then, we have flourished, grown, and matured as a college. We currently have over 4,300 students and graduate 1,200 students every year. Those individuals go on to careers in education, mental and physical health, and human services. I would like to begin today's convocation with an introduction of our platform party. I would ask that each individual rise when I introduce him or her to receive our appreciation and applause. First is Dr. Linda Campbell, professor in the Department of Counseling and Human Development Services. Dr. Campbell will introduce our convocation speaker today. Second is Dr. George Gazda, Professor Emeritus in the College of Education here at the University of Georgia. We are deeply honored that Dr. Gazda could serve today as our convocation speaker. And we have Dr. Ann Marcotte, Professor of Communication Sciences and Special Education and Department Head of Language and Literacy Education. Dr. Marcotte will read the names of our graduates. All right, now let me turn to my remarks. As Dean of the College of Education, it is my distinct pleasure to preside over today's convocation ceremony. To our graduates, today is your day, and we all applaud you, class of 2015. All right, graduates. Your accomplishments we are celebrating today have been assisted by many people in your lives. Your parents, grandparents, siblings, partners, friends, and many others. Will the family and friends of today's graduates stand to receive our applause? Please stand. Thank you very much. Just when you sat down and got comfortable. There are 220 faculty members in the 9 departments of the College of Education. Graduates who have taught and mentored you, please join me in thanking our faculty. We have 140 staff members in the College of Education. These individuals, often without your knowing, have been instrumental in helping you earn your degree. I ask you to thank the staff in our departments, student services, information technology, libraries, and other areas. I ask everyone present to thank our staff. All right, graduates, this is a day of celebration for your passion for learning and helping others. Convocation is a time-honored ritual that marks all that you have accomplished thus far in your lives. Please make sure and enjoy this moment. It comes just once in a lifetime. It is now my honor to introduce Dr. Linda Campbell, professor in the Department of Counseling and Human Development Services. After earning her doctoral degree in counseling psychology from Georgia State University, Dr. Campbell joined the faculty at the University of Georgia in 1988. Dr. Campbell is the recipient of many national awards for her scholarship and service to the field of psychology. She is the recipient of the American Psychological Association's Presidential Citation, APA's Education Advocacy Distinguished Contributions Award, and she's a fellow of the American Psychological Association. Her areas of research include psychotherapy and cognitive behavioral therapy. Dr. Campbell, please come to the podium to introduce our convocation speaker.
Adjustment for short people here. Thank you, Dean Kennedy, and good afternoon to all. recognition to certainly Dr. Gazda, esteemed guests, and our graduates. How does that sound to be called graduates there? Not too bad, is it? A very well-deserved congratulations to you, our 2015 graduating class, and most especially a congratulations to parents and families of our graduates. You have made sacrifices and contributions for this day, and I salute you for the educational gifts you have given the graduates here with us today. You've made an invaluable investment in our future and in theirs by so doing and by your support. I am honored to introduce Dr. George Gazda, our keynote speaker today. At this point in an introduction, you might typically hear a list of accomplishments. I will mention a few, but Dr. Gazda's greatest contributions are hidden from his curriculum vitae. Dr. Gazda is a man of great compassion, kindness, humility, and who is dedicated to a greater good than his own interests. Dr. Gazda is a Renaissance man, a phrase that references the belief that a person's capacity for personal development is without limits. Competence in a broad range of abilities for personal development is without, in a broad range of abilities in areas of knowledge should be every person's goal and is within every person's grasp. For example, Dr. Gazda's belief in others' capacity to learn motivated him to develop a model of social and life skills training, of which he has written many books. Dr. Gazda realized as an educator that skills that I'm sure all of our graduates have, or you would not be here graduating, were often not taught in schools or at home for many children. These skills include how to make decisions, how to consider options to solve problems, how to resolve conflicts, and how to engage in communication with others effectively. If you will think about it for just a minute, how would you navigate your lives if you did not have these abilities? And yet, these were not thought to be part of formal education for many years. Dr. Gazda his program was the first to be adopted by schools, and soon he found himself presenting his model to educators, nursing, dental, medicine, and correctional professionals. His contribution to a fundamental change in education is profound. It's true that Dr. Gazda has authored 16 books, written over 100 articles, 500 workshops. He's been president of 5 national professional associations and is one of only 2 people ever to serve as president of the 2 largest counseling associations in the United States. Yet, he made a top priority of giving time to his doctoral students when he was teaching here in the counseling department. He would tell his students, "Call me anytime, call me at home." Well, when I was a new faculty member here, I remember several of his new students would call him at home, only to be told, "George is out on the tractor, please call back. George is over here milking the cow, please call back." And several times these new students would wander into my office and say, "I just called Dr. Gazda, and I was told that he was out on a tractor. What do you think that means?" I would chuckle to myself and say, "It means he is sitting on a machine, probably a yellow machine, riding around and moving dirt from one place to another and clearing grass and brush." This answer for some was even more puzzling than the first answer on the phone. I tell you this story because it's a true example of the Renaissance concept of breadth in being a scholar and in George's perspective, being a man of the earth and a plain-spoken man, much as our forefathers were, actually. To this day, George is the owner and operator of the Gaza Angus Farm and Cattle Company with his son and family. Dr. Gazda is a man of great humility. When we talked about his comments for today, he said, well, I can't really say much about myself. You know, someone like Bill Gates can talk about his accomplishments, and I'm no Bill Gates. I said, George, neither are the rest of us. But I know you have much to give, as you already have given. The great anthropologist Margaret Mead said, never believe that a few caring people can't change the world, for indeed, that's all who have ever changed the world. And George Gazda is one of those people. I give you Dr. George Gazda.
I would like to begin by thanking Dean Kennedy and Elizabeth Goff for inviting me to this graduation address, and to Dr. Campbell for such a generous introduction. I'm humbled to have the honor, and I must say that I asked myself, what could I possibly say that would be of any immediate or long-term value to you graduates and your families, or to the faculty who were your advisors and instructors? Elizabeth was helpful in providing me with resources for listening to graduation addresses given to graduates at several major universities by nationally and internationally known individuals like Bill Gates and First Lady Michelle Obama. As I suspected, their addresses were based primarily on what they had accomplished in their very successful careers, not even approaching their kind of success and lifetime achievements. I had to consider some other alternatives. With Elizabeth and Linda's help, we were able to come up with a substitute, and I did agree to talk about myself personally, but to include what I call sidebars for the audience's consideration. I'd like to define what I'm talking about this morning and this afternoon. My talk will be on defining moments and purpose in life. And I titled this talk so that you could try to apply to your lives some of the things that happened to me that taught me how to succeed in my career, and that you would be able to increase or to get a better understanding of your purpose or meaning in life, and that would help you pursue your goals as you work in the future in your career. Let me begin then on a more personal note. First, I grew up in a small town in central Illinois in a family of 5 boys and was second son of Thomas and Mary Gazda. My father was taken out of school at 16 and sent to work in a coal mine. My mother had to drop out of high school after her sophomore year because the family moved to a farm too far away from the school for her to walk the distance, and there was no other transportation available for her. Nevertheless, or maybe because of their inability to achieve even a high school education, they valued education very much and sacrificed much to assist all 5 of their children to get a college degree. My takeaway for you here is to be sure to thank and truly value the family members, friends, and others who have made sacrifices for you along the way to ensure your personal success. I owe that to my supporters and devoted parents, and to many of you, and know many of you have special people in your lives to whom you are very thankful. Make sure to tell them thank you as you celebrate this tremendous accomplishment. My siblings and I had all kinds of chores to do at home when old enough, and we had various part-time jobs. My eldest brother went into the service at 17 to be eligible for the GI Bill of Rights and therefore afford him to attend Purdue University, where he graduated in civil engineering. When I graduated from high school 2 years after him, I had earned a scholarship to attend college with the intention of enrolling in pre-engineering courses. However, my guidance counselor advised me that I should not enter engineering because many returning men were enrolled in engineering and there would be no jobs for all of them. She didn't know that many, if not most of them, would be unable to complete engineering training in their degrees, and therefore there would be a demand for engineering graduates. In fact, all of my brothers became engineers. I was the only one to enter the field of education. Had I gotten that advice that ended up being inaccurate in the long run, I'm glad that I did. Or I may not be here with you today. I would be in some engineering program. I share this with you because there are certain life-changing events that are sometimes out of our control, and we have to be able to adapt. I had an unusual high school experience when, as a senior, my principal would sometimes take me out of class and send me to an elementary school next door to fill in for teachers who were ill and had to miss their classes. So I was prematurely introduced into the teaching profession. This kind of thing could not happen today. These unique experiences truly sparked my interest in teaching and education. Another defining moment or experience was once again unplanned and unexpected. Just before I was to receive my bachelor's degree, I took the exams to enter pilot training in the U.S. Air Force. I passed and was planning to enter pilot training as the Korean War ended. I longed to be a pilot and felt that it was my calling. When I was not called up for service, I returned to work on my master's degree. During December of that year, I was playing around in the college swimming pool and decided to dive off of the high board. During that unfortunate incident, I detached a retina. Surgery restored my vision, but disqualified me from pilot training and later even from military service. During my eye exam, as a young doctor was telling me how to protect myself during basic training, an older doctor stopped by and asked what the problem was. I did not know until I returned to the departure center that he had overruled the younger physician. I was not going to be entering the military. At the time, I was truly devastated. I shared this with you because in that moment, I had big plans for my future, and they were shifted in a way that was out of my control. Looking back, it may be one of the best things that happened to me. And I encourage you to take what seems to be a negative or disheartening situation and find the good and opportunity that may be present in that situation. Since I had taken a teaching position while waiting to be drafted, I was now in a position to change course, another defining moment. I married that summer and took a teaching position near my hometown. I taught there for 3 years, then took night courses and summer courses from the University of Illinois. During my 3rd year, I applied for a scholarship from the university. Their response was to offer me a fellowship. Wow. Not knowing the difference, I showed the letter to a neighbor fellow teacher. He said, "George, it really is true. You'll be paid a stipend to go full time." It was unexpected, but I had to make a decision to give up my teaching position and go full time to the university to pursue my degree full time. Another defining moment. Sometimes you'll get chance opportunities like this. Please take them. Originally, I enrolled in educational research, but after taking a counseling course with Dr. Merle Olson, who later became my major professor, I found counseling to be more interesting than research methodology. Another defining moment for me. Sometimes you won't know what you like or don't or don't like in something until you try it. Don't be afraid to try things on for a while. Don't be afraid to guess wrong about what you may or may not like. You won't know until you try. During my coursework, I had another unique experience or defining moment. One of my professors was doing a lot of consulting for the U.S. Office of Education, and he would ask me to teach some of his classes when he was away. His confidence in me helped me build more confidence in myself. He also was an incentive later in my career to encourage my doctoral students to work closely with me and develop training models and co-author books and papers. In fact, my most enjoyable professional experiences were teaching, advising, and co-authoring and socializing with my students. Make sure to look for individuals like that along the way as you continue through your professional endeavors. They will teach you, guide you, and develop you. Connect with mentors, colleagues, leaders, people who do what you do and people who don't do other things. Develop a network with whom you can share ideas, innovations, and challenges. Spend time with people who encourage you and challenge you. Don't waste time on those who may discourage you or don't believe in you. Still, another defining moment in my career comes when I was to graduate with my doctorate. Excuse me. I had been accepted to spend a year as a postdoctoral intern in a VA hospital in Danville, Illinois, just down the road from Champaign-Urbana. I could commute and wouldn't have to move. Just before I was to begin, one of our departmental professors resigned to take a job with the Science Research Association in Chicago. And there was a sudden opening for me. And I was able to get relief from my postdoctoral commitment to the VA. And one day I was a student, and the next day I was faculty. The first class I met was a Saturday morning class that was full of older school administrators. I was the youngest person in the room by 15 years. I sat in the front of the room until the room filled and then went to the front of the room. I could see the leadership. I could see the shock in all of their faces to think that I was their instructor. Don't be afraid to take leaps into leadership or professional positions when you might be the youngest or the least experienced. You have what it takes. Trust yourself. Trust those who believe in you and see the potential in you. I could go on and on about other defining moments of my life, but just one or two more. First, I worked in construction during the summer on weekends during my undergraduate years. I remember one Saturday morning during the school year when I arrived at my employer's house early and he and his family were still eating breakfast. He invited me to join them, and as we sat around the table with his young children, he pointed to them with love and pride in his voice and said, "George, this is what it's all about." That scene has stayed with me for a lifetime. I think it was so profound for me because I eventually went on to have a family of which I'm very proud. I encourage you to prioritize your friends and family throughout your professional life because they are truly what matters. One of my professional achievements of which I'm most proud came at a time many years later when working at the Veterans Administration Hospital in Augusta, Georgia, where I consulted for 20 years. I started an educational program for veterans, mostly Vietnam vets in those days. I had begun to develop a model which I called a life skills training model. I divided the skills into 4 categories: interpersonal communication / human relations, problem solving / decision making, physical fitness / health maintenance, and purpose / meaning in life. I recruited training personnel from the current staff and had them develop classes and training sessions in each of these 4 areas. For example, the physical therapists and nutritionists trained groups in health maintenance and fitness. The social workers and the psychologists trained them in family relationships. Nurses trained them in effective communication. The chaplains led groups on purpose or meaning in life. I noticed that many patients had to develop a purpose before they were motivated to change their behavior. We had research to show that veterans who participated in these groups tended to return less often to the hospital and as a result were less dependent on medication. From this observation, I invite you, as most of you move along in your journey, to reflect on what your true purpose in life is and keep that with you all along the way. Staying in touch with what motivates you will lead you to success and true fulfillment in a career. Defining moments will occur in your lives and already have, and you must deal with them to define your purpose for and give meaning to your life. Although you have very bright, successful futures ahead, your generation, as all generations before you, will encounter some problems in the 21st century. One of these is that there will be 1 billion people in the world caught in the poverty trap. Bill Gates' address to a Harvard graduating class dealt with this inequalities in the world and how meaningful it was to him to do something about it. Reducing inequalities is our greatest opportunity, he said. In this age of technology, we now have the time and money to reduce these inequalities. He believes complexity blocks inequality problems, but we can overcome complexity through the best application of technologies. And he stated that our best minds should be used to solve our greatest problems of inequalities. Some of you in this graduating class define your purpose in life by attacking this problem, just as Bill Gates has found his. Regardless of the cause, find something to give back to that inspires you. There will be many in need, and you will have the intelligence and the capability to make a difference. In her graduation address to the Howard University graduation class, First Lady Michelle Obama shared, indirectly at least, part of her purpose in life when she asked the class to answer 3 questions for themselves. I encourage you to ask these of yourselves today. First, who do I want to be? Not what do I want to be, such as a teacher, lawyer, or so forth. But whatever career you choose, think of how are you going to give back. Number 2, what is going on in this world around me that needs correcting, and how will I do so? Number 3, how and where can I help? Volunteer in the many areas of need, such as schools, homeless shelters, Habitat for Humanity, and the like. When you answer her three questions, you will be dealing with answering your purpose in life. Michelle Obama closed her Howard graduation address with these words: each generation looks at the world around them and decides that it is time to wake up and change this situation, and we have always looked to young people to lead the way. So graduates, now it is your turn to take the baton. Take it and carry it forward. In the process, however, don't forget about this great college and great university. God bless you and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Gazda. Your words elevate and enlighten us all. And now, we have the privilege of recognizing those of you who will receive the degrees this semester from the College of Education. Some of you have earned bachelor's degrees, some have earned master's degrees, and others have earned specialist degrees. Many of you have qualified for initial teacher certification, qualified to apply for licensure in professional areas, or added another area of specialization to your professional credentials. Many of you completed original research in the form of an undergraduate project, an honors thesis, or a master's thesis. Many of you have provided important services to the community through your service learning activities, and many of you have accomplished all this while maintaining a grade point average that allows you to graduate cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. Some of you did this while working, while taking care of your children or your parents, or while blazing your own trail as the first person in your family to attend college. All of you have worked very, very hard, and that's why we call it earning a degree. We are all very proud of you, and we are pleased to be able to recognize your work and your accomplishments this afternoon. Now, we will begin the convocation procession. The graduates will approach the stage from the audience's right and be introduced by department. Normally, at this point, I'm supposed to say, please hold your applause until a later time, but I've been doing this for a long time, and I know you're not going to be quiet, so I would encourage all of you to make all the noise you want when your loved one comes across the stage, and have a little fun. All right, introducing our graduates today is Dr. Ann Marcotte, Professor and Department Head. Dr. Marcotte, please step to the podium.
Our first graduate this afternoon is from the Department of Career and Information Studies. This department includes programs in workforce education and in learning, design, and technology. The department prepares undergraduates to become career and technical education teachers, while those completing graduate degrees typically assume leadership positions within the instructional technology units of school systems, governments, businesses, or industry. This department also produces research that enables people to invent information systems, with emphases on creativity and innovation for today's careers and for careers of the future. So we begin this afternoon by recognizing one graduate of Career and Information Studies who has earned a master's degree in the area of learning, design, and technology. Mr. Brian Reginald Terry. Our next graduates have earned degrees from the Department of Communication Sciences and Special Education. This department focuses on the needs of persons who can benefit from a range of approaches to teaching, learning, or communication. Whether they are continuing on to serve as early childhood special educators, to work as special education teachers, to complete graduate studies in speech-language pathology or audiology, or to contribute to their world in other ways, all of these graduates carry with them the department's mission of helping all persons become as independent as they can possibly be. The Department of Communication Sciences and Special Education is proud to present this afternoon 3 graduates who have earned the degree Bachelor of Science in Education, 1 with a major in special education and 2 with a major in communication sciences and disorders. Erin Simone Bird. Allison Taylor Reiner. And Amber Lynn McKinstry. The next graduates have all earned degrees from the Department of Educational Theory and Practice. Is that right? Okay. These outstanding graduates are prepared for positions as teachers, teacher leaders, teacher educators, and researchers in early childhood elementary, middle school, or social studies education. These programs routinely rank among the top 10 in the nation, according to U.S. News and World Report, and all of their graduates share the department's commitment to deepening society's understanding of the issues facing the next generations of learners and their teachers, and to fostering equity and social justice in education. The Department of Educational Theory and Practice is proud to present several graduates this afternoon, beginning with those who have earned a master's degree in early childhood education. George Murray Fox, Jr. Jennifer Marie Miltenis. Chelsea Goodson Geiger. Chandler Moore Werner. Joyce Balcos Butler. Joanna Catherine Wheeler. Taylor Karen Turner. Caroline Virginia Hanson. And Shelley Elizabeth Bonin. The Department of Educational Theory and Practice is also very proud to present a large group of graduates who have earned the degree Bachelor of Science in Education, most with expertise in early childhood education and several with expertise in middle school education. Christopher Chase Armour. Michael David Fernandez. Kathleen Rebecca Knipp. Caroline Rachel Garrett. Ansley Shannon Cruz. Eileen Grace Espinal. Ashley Amanda Adams. Taylor Miranda Wade. Margaret Ann Silliman. Annie Victoria Wise. Allison Marie Decker. Christina Marie Abner. Caitlin Brianne Church. Heather Elizabeth Kane. Elizabeth Palmer Bostick. Shannon Alexis Peterman. Molly Elizabeth Harrington. Hillary Michelle Wilson. Michelle Marie Garcia. Ashton Clarissa Stringer. Mary Caitlin Gaskins. Miley Ray Hill. Carly Nicole Chandler. Allie Jane Avery. Mary Allison Haddon. Hannah Grace Kissack. Bethany Patricia Walsh. Erin Mackenzie Springstead. Abby Elizabeth Reichard. Kenzie Ray Winther. Jordan Elizabeth Cox. Britt Emily Borden. Anna Ovell Morris. Elizabeth Tanner Wielden. Carla Isabel Flores. Therese Jamel Malloy. Marissa Ann Williams. Ebony Anae Lowry. Rebecca Michelle Bradley. Sarah Bernadine Harkins. Jenny Lynn Martin. Wesley Harmon Elrod. Gina Yu. Krista Michelle Rowan. And Selena Servin. Our next group of graduates have all earned degrees from the Department of Kinesiology. The mission of this department is to enhance health and well-being for people throughout the lifespan through the creation, transmission, and application of knowledge related to physical activity, exercise, and sport. The department's bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs in exercise and sport science, health and physical education, and sport management prepare students for careers as practitioners in allied health fields, in teaching and coaching, and in sport enterprises, and for careers as scholars and researchers in higher education, government, and industry. The Department of Kinesiology is pleased to present several graduates this afternoon, and I have to stop and ask, I'm sorry, bachelors? Yes. These are all young people who have earned the degree Bachelor of Science in Education with majors in exercise and sport science, health and physical education, or sport management. Beginning with Stephanie Marie Roman Aguayo. Whitney Dakota Chandler. Jenna Elizabeth Beatty. Jordan Nicole Herwig. Marguerite Rose Brogan. Jenna Marie Kozma. Tevin Marquise Reeves. Omar Eyebrake. Joseph Lee. Karen Marie Donaldson. Kenneth Conrad Strower. Jonathan David Bryant. Dylan Scott Bledsoe. Suni Amable. Michael David Ritzy. Leslie Elora Stewart. Georgia Nicole Sutter. Graham Grayson Holt. And Andrew Lewis Tuggle. We now turn to the Department of Language and Literacy Education. This department offers degrees in English education, reading, literacies, and children's literature, teaching English for speakers of other languages, and world language education. Students and faculty in language and literacy education focus on multiple literacies across languages and cultures, including reading, composition, and the construction, transmission, and application of meaning for print, visual, and digital media. Graduates are prepared to give learners and communities access to their world through critical literacies, social construction of literacy, children's and young adult literature, second language acquisition, and world language teaching and learning. The Department of Language and Literacy Education is very proud to present one graduate this afternoon who has earned the degree Bachelor of Science in Education with a major in World Language Education. Miss Elisa Tapia. Next, we recognize graduates from the Department of Lifelong Education, Administration, and Policy. This department includes 4 program areas: adult education, learning and organizational development, qualitative inquiry, and educational administration and policy. The overriding mission of this department is to train professionals who will administer and improve the educational programs of Georgia, the Southeast, and the nation, based on rigorous evaluative techniques, whether those programs are focused on education for students in kindergarten through the 12th grade or designed to provide continuing education for adults. The Department of Lifelong Education, Administration, and Policy is pleased to present this afternoon one graduate who has earned the degree Specialist in Education in Educational Administration and Policy. Ms. Russia Monique Cooper. The Department of Lifelong Education, Administration, and Policy is also represented this afternoon by those who have earned master's degrees from 3 of the department's program areas: adult education, educational administration and policy, or human resources and organizational development. Marquez Antonio Rasan Haley. Which should bring us to our final group of graduates, who have all earned degrees from the Department of Mathematics and Science Education. These graduates are equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to be leaders in the arenas of instruction, curriculum, assessment, and policy for mathematics and the sciences, and for learners in preschool through college settings. Given the importance of mathematics and science literacy in our society today, the faculty of the department and of the college as a whole look forward to the contributions these professionals will make through their teaching, research, and service in mathematics and the sciences. We are therefore very pleased to be able to recognize those who have earned the degree Bachelor of Science in Education with a major in mathematics education or with a major in science education. Christine Marie Kolage. Mimi Choi. Catherine Elaine Fraser. Sarah Elizabeth Hendricks. Abigail Ann Christman. Sarah Elizabeth Stanek. Christopher Lee Reno. Alexis Victoria Daniels. Mallory Pauline Thomas. Brock Taylor Huffstetler. And Yubing Yang. The fall 2015 graduates of the College of Education.
Thank you, Dr. Marcotte. Members of the platform party, it is now my great pleasure to introduce our final speaker for the 2015 College of Education Convocation. Our student convocation speaker is Jordan Cox. Jordan is an early childhood education major and a recipient of the University of Georgia Award of Excellence awarded by the president of the university. During her time at UGA, Jordan served as president of Kappa Delta Epsilon, in addition to spending countless hours in local school systems preparing her to become an elementary school teacher. In January, Jordan will begin her professional career as a kindergarten teacher in her hometown of Leesburg, Georgia. Jordan's dedication and drive for academic excellence exemplifies the best of the College of Education. Jordan, please come to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Kennedy. Graduates, faculty and staff, family and friends, the College of Education at the University of Georgia has prepared us for today's celebration. At this important juncture in our lives, I would like to remind you of a quote from Dr. Seuss's book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. You are the guy who will decide where to go. We have completed a very important life goal and reached a milestone that will chart the course of our lives. Now what? We are now ready to set out on our own as educated, responsible adults, well prepared to make our own unique and significant contributions to the world. The potential lies within each of us to achieve great and awe-inspiring victories over the status quo. I am proud and honored to be a member of the UGA College of Education class of 2015, and I know that members of this class will have a substantial impact on humanity and leave our mark in history. To quote Nelson Mandela, education is the most important weapon which you can use to change the world. Graduates, we are each responsible for our own choices and actions, and I challenge each of you when offered the opportunity to choose kindness and selflessness. David McCullough Jr. once said, "The great and curious truth of the human experience is that selflessness is the best thing you can do for yourself." Many of the professions you have chosen will certainly require you to exercise a high degree of selflessness. The paychecks you receive may not make you instant millionaires, but the contributions you will make on a daily basis in such careers as teachers, researchers, sports administrators, counselors, and physical therapists will bring such personal satisfaction that money could never replace. I'm excited to note that within this class could be a researcher who will discover a cure for cancer or some other horrible disease. Our clinicians will restore health and quality of life to artists, dancers, sports figures, and others who bring inspiration, cultural diversity, and fulfillment to everyone's lives. Many in this auditorium will educate, motivate, and influence the next generation of leadership or even a future president of the United States. This graduating class has the power and the opportunity to shape those who will become the researchers, clinicians, and teachers of tomorrow and affect significant and positive changes in our world. How awesome is that? In order for us to have the opportunity to pursue our educational and professional goals, I would also like to take this occasion to thank our country's forefathers and the brave veterans like my two grandfathers who secured our freedom. The high price they paid personally allows us to follow our dreams and celebrate this achievement today. We owe it to them and to this remarkable university to maximize our opportunities and pay it forward. We leave today with a challenge to educate, encourage, mentor, and promote education and self-worth in others. We must all remember that our personal triumphs are a result of our time spent at the University of Georgia and the, and the College of Education. We should be forever grateful for all that we gained while here, including a world-class education, a sense of belonging, personal friendships, self-confidence, and the realization of personal goals. These are attributes that are now instilled in each of us, and for my part, I am humbled and most appreciative. May we all be inspiring examples of what it means to be a graduate of the University of Georgia College of Education. I began with a quote from Dr. Seuss's book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, and I'll end with another one from the same book. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. As we leave here, remember you will always have UGA in your heart and bleed red and black. So glory, glory to old Georgia, and go Dogs forever. Congratulations, class of 2015.
Thank you, Jordan. That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you again, families, faculty, and staff. Everyone has many reasons to be proud today and many reasons to celebrate. Graduates, you are now alumni of the College of Education. You are now a member of a community that includes over 60,000 living alumni. Many of these individuals have gone on to great accomplishments and made important contributions to Georgia and the nation. We expect no less of each of you. We look forward in the future to hearing with great pride about the impressive accomplishments and important contributions made by the class of 2015. Audience, it is my pleasure today to present to you the class of 2015. All right, now, let me call on Jordan one more time to come to the podium and lead our graduates in the calling of the dogs.
All right, graduates, please rise. All right, go Dogs! Dogs, sick 'em.
Thank you, everyone. Class is dismissed.